What's up, YouTube? My name is Neil, and this is Get Technical, brought to you by Benzinga. Right now, we're watching the tail end of the show that comes before me.
This one, I feel like it's kind of both, you know, because like
if they take too long, this show they have some kind of name for their viewers. I think it's Bloviation Nation. So we're watching the tail end of Bloviation Nation here, and just seeing if I need to raid them.
Voyager with crypto going up a little bit. Voyager,
and just to let you know, they're looking at Wish, they're looking at Workhorse. Happy to look at both. Way more bullish on Wish than I am on Workhorse for the moment. But then I want to talk about the Voozy Jacuzzi. Give me a 1 in chat if you're in the Voozy Jacuzzi.
So I'm still on it. And what am I? So Peloton, Twilio is moving up today, 3%. GBTC up 7%. Nike is. I'm so annoyed. So Nike. Josh Rasnick, that was his pick like 4 months ago. I bought it. Now it took off on Friday.
This is the leader of the Bloviation Nation, Jason Rasnick.
I only bought 5 shares. So it was Josh's
he uses
pick.
his son, who I believe is about 12, as a human stock scanner.
So I told
Very expensive these days to get human stock scanners.
I didn't have the heart to tell him that I just bought 5 shares. I guess he's up $100 though. So
yeah, but if you what's the regular advisor cut, like 10%? So he should get 10% of that, right?
Great boot camp, Gary. Thank you. I'm glad that you were able to attend the boot camp. I thought it was great too. I had a really good time hanging out with you guys.
Going live on Get Technical right now.
No, I trimmed my Wendy's position a little bit when it went up. You know, and they're saying the next meme, you know, the next Reddit stock. So I've owned Wendy's, you know, I bought it at $11. I sold 200 shares at like 25, and I'm just keeping 600, letting them ride. Yeah, so that's all I got.
What's up, Line Trader? Welcome as always, my friend.
What is this COVID stuff? Come on, people just want to be scared of stuff.
We're just watching the tail end of Bloviation Nation. You guys know I like to watch it every week, every day.
We are going over to
Let's get this.
It will automatically direct you there. So hang out with Neil and I over on Get Technical, and yeah,
send him over. Peace. Tony's made a lot of money on this
Peace
stuff.
and love. Shout out Tony.
Meme stocks, Neil. I mean like Reddit stocks. You know what I mean. Sorry. Okay.
Peace.
All right. So that was the tail end of Bloviation Nation, guys. I feel like Aaron Bree, a producer AB, could give a much better send-off than that. Hey, AB, can you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
What was with that weak ass transition? Stick around if you want. Up next is Get Technical, and then Jason's like, yeah.
Yeah, peace.
I'm gonna stop by Wendy's after this. Meme stock. Come on, man.
I was trying. Come on. All right, give me.
Hold on. Guys, let's do this. Okay, so here we go. Roll the intro video, AB. Get the intro video. We'll do this right, guys. All right. So, what's up, YouTube? My name's Neil Hamilton. Welcome to Get Technical. Producer AB, roll that shit.
3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Welcome into the open where we get technical. You should have investments in long-term growth. And we're back. Happy mother freaking Monday, everybody. I'll turn the music down a little bit for the complainers. I know that producer AB has sensitive ears. All right, now we're doing the damn thing. Jim Stocks. No, once again, I don't know what the sign says outside. We do not give massages here. All right? But you can DM producer AB's Twitter and just see how far you get. Guys, Voozy. Who was sitting around yesterday, right before the market closed, maybe sitting on the couch smoking a little grass and thinking, hey, I'd love to get in the Voozy jacuzzi because I watched that show Get Technical and they said, hey, this thing's kind of oversold. It's got a little bit of a double bottom with pointy butt cheeks. I think it's going to reverse its trend. All right. That was the play. Voozy jacuzzi, using our favorite tools here. My new faves, my new best friends. Boom, boom. This is reversal world. This is what... Let's look at what was a reversal that I missed out on. So I'm going to compare Voozy to Microsoft like 3 months ago. So MSFT. Oops. Delete. Oh my god. Oh my god. Falling apart here, Aaron.
Jeez.
All right, so we're going to replay. We're going to take this thing back here. We're going to go back to right here. All right. Voozy right now is where Microsoft was in terms of the way the chart looks and that little bit of that recovering RSI, except the RSI is even lower on Voozy, which you'll see in a minute, with that buy volume coming in. And if I play this, I just want to get one more day candle on here. Boom. All right. Look at that. We've got strong impulse, downward trend, short term, bop, bop. All right. Now let's see what happened with Microsoft.
No, that was Microsoft. A little double bottom.
Just a little one.
Just a little cheeks. Palaby in the chat saying, welcome to the Kung Fu show for Get Stocks. Yeah, by the way, we have a pop quiz coming up at the end of this show about Ip Man. So if you did not watch all the iterations of the Ip Man movies over the weekend, you better start getting the spark notes going real quick.
Do your homework out there, guys. This is technical Kung Fu for charts, all right? You don't get technical Kung Fu anywhere else. We are the Wu-Tang Clan of technical analysis. All right, so you guys just saw what happened with Microsoft following that little double reversal on that really short-term downward trend. Let's get back over to Voozy now. These are the little glasses that you put on when you're doing some surgery. What else are you doing when you're wearing these glasses, AB?
Maybe you're a defense contractor. Maybe you're like a private,
a soldier of some type,
and you want to be able to have like the Terminator thing where you are Neil Hamilton, 5'10",
target
240 pounds.
Whoa! Hey, slow down. You got my height right. Give me some credit on the poundage, though, baby.
Oh, I thought we were doing weight goals.
Yeah, I'll get there. I'll get
240.
there. I need. Give me like 3 more months of heavy creatine supplementation.
Some more hard-boiled eggs.
Some hard-boiled eggs.
Oh, by the way, so over the weekend I stopped into a supplement store real quick, and the guy, you know how those guys are, right? Like all they want to do is talk about supplements and working out and all this stuff. And this guy I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna buy anything today. Like I was kind of just checking out the shop, whatever. And he's like, all right, well here, take some of this. It's my homemade creatine.
Oh,
and I'm just like,
yeah. Always take. That's the good shit.
I'm like, looking at this jar. I'm just like, I don't know, man. Like I might need to test it on someone first. You want to try it for me?
No, definitely. That's Luke. Just say, hey, Luke, I got some experimental shit from the dude at the GMC store. He'd be like,
it might not be FDA approved.
He'd smell it, be like, already had it. Shit sucks. All right, yeah, guys, we're looking at Voozy right now. So I just demonstrated for you how Voozy is in a very similar situation with its price structure to where Microsoft was a couple months ago. And some of you might have been upset that you missed the Microsoft opportunity. So let me know if we're looking at Microsoft MSFT, if you guys were able to recognize this double bottom and get in for that ride. Give me a 1 in chat if you did. So it would have looked, replay please, just about like this. Oh, you guys got in. Way to go. So here's the game. If you got in, congratulations. You have straight up, you got balls of steel. Why is that? Because you bought the fear. This is what everyone's freaking out when tech is selling off. and you bought into it because you recognize the opportunity. What are the two things that are going for Microsoft back on this day? Number one is just pure price structure. It seems to have found support and tested it twice. That's a double bottom. All right. That's a reversal pattern right there. That's good. Now let's start looking for some other indicators to see if it agrees with the potential for a pop. Number one right here. Big shout out to Jake. Congratulations on the baby, Jake, from TrendSpider. You've got the volume launch pad. This was your support, was all of this demand level here with this spike coming out of volume by price. This is the launch pad. We're on top of it. It's like a trampoline. And then we also had some above average volume coming in. And the RSI just about as low as the stock would get for several months. So in terms of Microsoft, that's oversold territory, baby. So between RSI, relative to the asset and the history of its performance, the volume profile or the volume by price, the price structure here, great time to enter. And then once again, let's just go ahead and run that back. I'll increase the speed so we don't have to wait so long. Ziggy zag, all-time high. All right, so let's get back to what I'm comparing that to, which is VUZI. Same situation. Whoops. Same situation, except for got a little more oversold. All right, so now we're in that bouncy spot. Now, something to watch out for is right where we're hitting resistance right here. If I get a little more price in here, it'll probably show me more clearly. Right where we're hitting some resistance is about this area, and that's that overhead supply is. That's why we're hitting resistance. There are sellers here, according to our volume profile. So what we're looking for is to break through that. And the fact that we've still got momentum going in our direction, we're not petered out on the momentum, getting into the overbought zone. I could totally see something like that. We're gonna get up. We're gonna go through these areas of resistance of overhead supply. This is a classic reversal pattern. So it's almost never a straight line up. Sometimes it is. The one was pointed out. One of you guys tweeted at me at Neil's tweets. One of you guys tweeted at me Space, which had a perfect cup and handle. Actually one of the best cup and handles I've seen in a while, which we can look at. But that one was just straight up. It was a very short period of time for pattern resolution. So pattern resolution for this is going to be the base or the support level that we got down to on our double bottom, added to the neckline at the meat of the trading, which I identified right here. So we're going to do that distance. I'm going to try this line for our aggressive price target. You could go here though, and it probably will resolve like that.
I have another stock that's been going like straight up, and I keep being like, well, I don't want to get into it because then it'll probably stop going straight up, and I haven't gotten into it. And then every day I'll check on it, and just is continuing to go straight up.
Well,
so I don't know.
We'll hold that one in your memory banks. Let's get through this in space first. All right, so this is our target coming up. This is going to be our resistance. We're of course going to hit resistance at the apex here of our double bottom, but this is our target here. And that's just short term, baby. That's just swing trading. So that's looking for about 33% there. So that's VUZI. How do you get the volume to display on the left? Your left, one man's left is another man's right. But the way that you get it to display on the side is by activating an indicator called volume profile. Either volume profile or volume by price, which if you're using TradingView, you go to your indicators, you've got volume profile right here. The one I'm using is visible range. Very basic.
Shout out Pierce.
Shout out to Pierce Crosby.
And
I still got that cell phone for sale. Pierce Crosby. I still got that. $200 get you an iPhone 6. All right. Holler at me. I'll unlock it too. I'll get it unlocked.
We know you're listening, Pierce.
We know you watch every day, man.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out, hit us a like. When do you make the measurement on a linear scale versus log? So this is a good question. John Moore. When do you make the measurement on a linear scale versus log? So linear scale is talking about the price here. In most cases, when people are using linear versus logarithmic, they're talking about the price scale on the y-axis. Linear just means every spatial increment on the way up is equal to the same amount of dollar difference as it goes up. Logarithmic uses a curved spatial difference between each increment, which I'll switch to here. And you can see that we go from $2.32 to $2.95 in this space, which is about like an inch on my screen. And then here we go from $22 to $28. So you've jumped several more dollars in the same space of time. So it's basically expanding your view at different parts of the chart. When I'm doing measurements and stuff like that for price structure, I'm just using regular. That's it. Logarithmic's awesome for demonstrating things. So afterward, if I'm taking a screen capture of a chart to share it, and I want people to see price history, but I still want to emphasize the most recent action, I will use logarithmic. But for my charting purposes, I like things just to be apples to apples linear progression on the y-axis. So I hope that answers your question. So yeah, Vuzi price target 24.25, easy, love it. Vuzi's going. And then if we pull out our Fibonacci retracement tool, we go to the previous all-time high, and then we go to the ensuing low. You can see that the levels of resistance here on this candle, the levels of resistance and support are lining up perfectly, as always, as almost always with our Fibonacci retracement. So these are your levels to watch. I expect a full reversal return to that previous all-time high. There are, stocks be crazy. They don't always go straight up. But Vuzi is looking poised for a fantastic reversal into an upward trend. So that has been my pick. It's up 6% today. I expect that to continue. We might have some up days, we might have some down days, but we will, according to my expectations, my educated forecast, reach our price target. All right. So the other one I wanted to look at was SPCE. Shout out to the guy or gal that tweeted at me. Not sure who that was. But what they pointed out, all they did was tweet at me. If you're in chat, let me know. Just tweeted SPCE, textbook cup and handle. I looked at it and I said, yes. So where's the cup and handle? It's right here. We got the left cup here. We have the right pivot here. This is the right pivot because it's the final candle before we started going to a really short-term downward trend. We're on the daily right now. We get some more detail if we go down to 4 hour. All good. And then we've got the left side here, which actually, if you want to make it look like a damn cup, you go to your right pivot, and then you're going to like your little breakout action here. Maybe like this. So at any rate, all cup with handles have the same basic structure. And you got it. And what's a really fast way that another viewer taught me like a while back to measure your price target for a cup with handle. Fast and dirty way. Who can give me a fast and dirty way? If you're watching the recording right now, after you smash the like and subscribe, please, let me know the fast and dirty way to get your price target for a cup and handle. If you're watching live, let me know in chat.
By the way, it was Garrett in the chat that pointed out Spice to you on Twitter. He's saying, it's me, dog.
Garrett, you rock.
Shout out, Garrett. Shout out, Rat Pack.
Yeah, NVIDIA options be expensive, yo.
Expensive, yo. Great stock, but sheesh. Trying to get some call sweeps on that. You better mortgage out your mom's house or something.
True degenerate style. All right, no one's taking me up on my fast and dirty way to get the price target, so I'll demonstrate. All right, so I'm looking for the first leg of an impulsive move. I'm going to start right here. All right, we got this gap city right here. Big buy volume. I'm going to say this is the beginning of this entire impulse. All right, so I'm going to use the Fibonacci, not retracement, but extension tool. And I'm going to first anchor it on the low of that beginning of the impulse. I'm going to anchor the high on the left cup of my cup with handle. And my third point is going to be anchored on the low point, the lowest point on my cup. Boom. That's how you're setting your price targets. Typically, this one is like amazing because normally you're just shooting for this 100%. This should make you a happy boy or girl. But Space went ahead and went all the damn way up. So fast and dirty. You recognize the cup and handle. Cup and handles are the most prevalent thing in the market. You'll see them every single day. Pretty much anytime price hits a high and then starts a corrective phase, if you notice that it starts coming back up to that same level and starts hitting resistance, you're looking at a cup. And then what you're waiting for is for it to get rejected at the resistance. You're looking at a handle. And then you're going to set your entry for that breakout. In this case, there are a couple. I mean, we've gone over the cup with handles. Let me know. Give me a 1 in chat if you want me to go through all the ways that you can enter and exit and trade a cup with handle, or if you want to move on to more picks. Get one for the cup with handle explanation, like different ways to trade it. 2 for just going to look at more stock charts. Using the line below the cursor, second from the top, and realigning it. I do it for head and shoulders. Using the okay, so we want to do the cup with handle exploration. Looks like, and then so Victor said using the line below the cursor, second from the top. Oh, just the line tool, and realigning it. I do it for head and shoulders. Yes. So that's not the quick and dirty way. Actually, both are quick and dirty. So yeah, that would be if I'm looking at a cup and handle and I want to see what my price target is. I'm going to set my primary resistance at the left cup, and then I'm going to measure the depth of the cup, add that to the neckline, and then that's going to be my very conservative price target. The next thing that you can do is take the height of the impulse going up to that neckline, and then you're adding that to the neckline. Okay, so Vuzi drop. Drop like it's hot. Okay, thanks for coming back, Blind Trader. My cup runneth over resistance. All right, so let's talk about the cup with handle. All right, so Vuzi does not have a cup with handle, so let's go back to SPCE, which is a very successful cup with handle. This is a rarity to see this much success. But the basic structure of your cup with handle is going to be, as with all continuation patterns, first an upward trend or an impulse. That is going to be followed by some red candle action that's going to find a level of support. And so it's actually, as you should be looking for something that kind of looks round, but it's not always perfect, is it? But we're looking at these bottoms. So the bottoms do kind of point like a rounded picture. At any rate, there is an ultimate level of support that it's going to touch. And then a perfect cup with handle, you should see red candle, red candle, red candle, red candle, and then you should start seeing just green on the other side. It should just look one half red, the other half green on either side of the thing. So anyways, deleting all that, you're going to recognize this when your secondary impulse gets rejected. So you've got your impulse, which is you could also call a pole, because it's similar to like a bull flag right here, and then right here. Actually, let's do it like this. Right here, you've got your left cup, and that is where it's always going to be a single candle that is just the end of the impulse before it goes down. So you're using this. This is the left cup here on SPCE. So you've got your left cup, and then you're going to get your line of support, which here I'm just going to say lowest low creates depth of cup. That's your area right there. So with SPCE, the lowest low is this candle right here, this doge. So go like this.
Shout out Sylvia. She talked about a doji candle last week, right?
Yeah. So I don't want to get too confusing with these lines, actually. Too many lines. And then you're going to start seeing the candles going back up close to, they're going to approach the left cup. They don't always do that. You get two kinds. You get this kind where it's hitting the same level of resistance, or you get this kind where it gets rejected at a lower level. Both count, both work. And then after that, there's going to be another pivot, which we have right here. and that is going to be your right pivot. And that is going to turn into a little bit of selling off. So you're going to get some red candle action going down, coming off of that. Now we've talked about the structure, all right? This is pre-breakout. We have formed a cup with handle. How do we trade the cup with handle? There are a couple entry points. Can I zoom in on this?
Sure, I'll allow you to.
Thank you, Aaron. Entry point number 1 is going to be the second you reverse on this bottom. The second that you find support on your handle, you're targeting this level of resistance. So with SPCE, the second you found this, the end of the handle, which is like this, you're targeting the right cup or the right pivot. All right. So this is your target. This is your trade right in here. And your stop loss is just a little bit below support. The next level that you're going to target, if you have a lopsided cup with handle, which you had with SPCE. So first we targeted the difference here, and we set our stop loss here. The next thing that you're going to target upon a solid body crossover breakout with high volume or above average volume is going to be the next level, and that's your left cup. That's going to be your next sell target. All right. So you're basically getting 2 trades out of that. And what you can do is enter aggressively here, and then you can leave some on the table here, or you can just get out, see what happens, and then re-enter here. But like kind of like the cool way to do it is enter with 100%, and then for the next leg, take some off the table, take some profits, and then go let 50% go to the next level of resistance. So there's 2 sell targets on the cup with handle, and then you have the level where if I delete this, delete this, delete this, that, delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that. All right, so you have your basic cup with handle here. Then you can take your Fibonacci extension, which we've just talked about, which is your quick and dirty, go to the beginning of the impulse, anchor it at the left cup, and then go down to the lowest point on the cup or that level of support that it found. And then upon a breakout of the price level of the left cup, you are targeting that 100%. And if it runs past that 100% on high volume, go for that 161. That's what SPCE got. So that's your cup with handle breakdown. Okay. Did I see Boozy? Yeah, Shay, I had Boozy up earlier. We are celebrating modest gains on Boozy, but I expect big things. All right, guys. So there's your cup with handle. Going through the comments. Who's got FOMO?
YIAB wearing a rat suit. Will.
I don't know what the rat suit thing is.
I don't know either. All right, can I show you my chart now that has like just a very straight upward trend that I have no clue. Like I don't even know how to do technical analysis on it.
Okay, yeah.
All right, ticker is FTNT. And I keep being like, well, it can't go straight up forever, so I can't buy into it. And then it just keeps going up.
So what you're going to do is just look for when it's probably going to be exhausted. So what's the Swiss Army knife for technical traders?
Support and resistance.
No, I meant a tool. Fibonacci retracement.
Fibonacci retracement. That was what I was testing you. You passed.
Yep. So anchoring it back at this like previous high, you can see that it exhausted absolutely the full extent of the Fibonacci retracement, got rejected. Look at how the stock is perfectly respecting that, right?
Right.
All right. Now let's bring that out a little bit. Let's bring this into the future. Next highest high. Next lowest low. Oh my God, this thing keeps going.
That's what I'm saying. That's why it's like an anomaly.
Next highest high. Next lowest low. There you go. That's what I would say is your price target. Damn, what a beast. What the hell's going on with this thing?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying
Is
to
it
figure
broken?
out. Did we try restarting it?
That's your best bet. When stocks are just running, your best bet is just Fibonacci numbers to find numbers that people are likely to sell at.
So you're saying,
and then RSI also, like look, it's getting super. Let's compare the RSI chart. So let's just do. Last time I got super overbought was September 4th of 18. Now let's look at the chart. September 4th of 18. So right around here, sold off. October, September.
Nope, back before. Yep.
There it is. Yeah, September's before October. So right after it got super oversold, sold off. Right here, getting about to the same level. So sell off incoming. That's another way. Here's another way. Bollinger Band. This thing has been like very extended for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months in a row. There's no reason for it to stop, but a lot of indicators are telling you it's not a good time to enter. You know what I mean? There's a lot of signs of exhaustion here.
Heard that.
So you go. Have you been in this?
No, I keep wanting to get in, but I'm like, shoot, it just keeps going straight up. And then I know like the day that I buy it, it's going to stop going straight up. But yeah, this one, it's a, not to bring up the dirty fundamentals, but it's a cybersecurity play, which I just love the space right now. I think as we progress in this, new decentralized finance world with all these cryptos and whatnot, I think we'll be seeing some more focus on the cybersecurity sector. So,
all right, we got a comment here. I'm not sure if this is an alt account for Chris, where he very deviously misspelt his own last. Oh no, he spelled it. Okay, I'm such a savage. All right, Chris, let's bring the man on, guys. Guys, it's Chris Capri Monday. It's time to enough of the nonsense. It's time. This is where the boys become men. Boys to men.
This was the nonsense show before, and now it's no longer nonsense.
Not as of today, buddy. Are you ready to get serious?
I am actually. Let me get the thing up there. So we're talking about FTNT, and a couple of things I wanted to mention that might as well go over it since you're talking about it. First off, Aaron said something very interesting. He said, of course, I want to get into this for a long time. As soon as I get into it, it's going to make a loss. Don't ever say that to yourself, because what does that do to yourself? It tells your brain that I don't know how to get into these, and I will get a loss if I get into it too late. You keep imprinting that on your brain, that's what you will think.
Well, it also just tells me that it makes me feel like I'm the problem, right? Like as soon as I get into a stock and then it starts going down, not only do I feel bad because my portfolio is going down, but I feel bad because I've ruined the trade for everyone.
Copy that. So, okay. So we want to fix that. So first off, you're right. It has been running very aggressively. This is what, 3, 4, 6, 7 weeks in a row, assuming this week closes up. So when a stock is running like this, which is not stopping, what's the methodology to get into it? My students who are watching right now, what's the way to get into it? I know some of you are watching and numbers are going up the last 30 minutes. So lack confidence big time. Yeah, that's safe though. Better to miss a play than make a bad trade. Yeah, but that's only saying that your only two options are you either miss it or make a bad play. What if you make a good play? So Mike Wisdom is saying, Chris, I was thinking the same thing. Chris about AB doubting himself. Yeah, you definitely don't want to doubt yourself as a trader. And if you do, then you want to step back and don't make trades. So when a stock is running impulsively and it's not pulling back, let me break it down for you this way. Do you want to take pullback trades or do you want to take breakout trades? Who knows the answer to this one? Who knows the answer? It's time to get serious.
Right now, guys.
Get serious, no nonsense. Now we're getting no nonsense. So what do you do? If a stock is running, just continually running, do you take breakout trades or do you take pullbacks? Jeremy's one of my students. He knows. If it's moving in an NVT, that's some of our course technical language, you take breakouts. You take breakouts because it's not pulling back. If the market is running, you take breakouts because it's not giving you a pullback. Let's look at this on a smaller time frame. So
do you have your screen pulled up right now, Chris?
Oh, well, I will
classic
now.
Chris.
Thank you for reminding me. I'm sorry. I get overjealous. I get excited. Coming on Monday.
This is exciting stuff.
No nonsense Monday.
But you can get excited, but just stay serious because this is Seriously.
Yeah. He's
Okay.
right.
So where do we see stability? We see an incredible amount of stability on this on the weekly time frame. And you are seeing some pullbacks, but not many. You know, it's closing near the highs. This had a little bit of a pullback. This had a little bit of a pullback. This had a little bit of a pullback, but you're not seeing a whole lot of pullbacks. It's staying within this very tight channel. So you can't, when the market's running in a very tight, impulsive, what we call with our members, we call it a non-volatile trend. It's not volatile because you're not having two-way price action where it's pulling back. That's volatility. If it's just running, there's no volatility in it. That's an incredible imbalance of buyers to the buy side. So how do you trade such moves? You trade breakouts. You don't look for pullbacks. Or if you do look for pullbacks, they have to be very shallow because, again, it's staying within this very tight range. So you can't look for like, oh, I want to trade this big pullback to this fib level or something. It's not going to do that. It's not going to do that. And so you're sitting there going, when is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? It doesn't matter when it's going to stop. It will stop when it stops. For now, for the last 7 weeks, I didn't even know about FTNT. I really haven't traded FTNT like in months. But now that I know about it, I'm going to start trading it. So looking at this, I'm going to keep trading this until it breaks that structure. Once it breaks the structure, then we know there's been a change or transition in the order flow. Until it breaks that, you keep trading that. So very shallow pullbacks on this one. Very, very shallow pullbacks, but breakouts are preferred because when it breaks out, it's running. And so we keep trading that. We don't look for extension or anything like that because it doesn't matter. This is a huge imbalance to the buy side. You need to trade with that. If you were able to catch this breakout since here, you should have been buying consistently again and again and again and again on this one here, like consistently. If you only bought this one time and you didn't buy any of these others, then you're missing out. So you want to know nonsense Monday, I'm giving it to you right now. That's how you trade FTNT. Now, from the options perspective, FTNT is not a gangster options stock. You got 12,000 calls, you got 11,000 puts. It's balanced between calls and puts. So,
well, does it play into it too that the IV wouldn't be as high because it's not going both ways?
Yes. Yeah. Anytime you see, so part of options pricing in IV has to do with how far can this stock move in both directions. If the stock only moves like a couple dollars up and a couple dollars down, you're going to have low IV. If the stock like Tesla can move $20 in a day up and then $20 in a day down the next day, you're going to have high IV.
Or the same day with Tesla.
Or even in the same day with Tesla. So, you know, when you look at it, the calls and puts are relatively balanced. So, you know, that leads me to believe, and for short-term dated options, which because there's not a lot of options on it, the next short-term options are July 16th, July UpX. So I'm only seeing puts really starting to measure out to 160, and I'm seeing calls only really fill up to about 260. So in terms of where I think this could possibly go, I think you got room to about 260, 270, and then I think you're going to see a pullback in FTNT. Calling it right now, I think between 260 and 270, you start to see a transition in this structure that you're seeing.
But short term till 260, you think it could continue this uptrend that we've seen?
Yes. And you know, what would be your major strikes? We're above 245. So I think you got room till 250.
So what if I wanted to buy some like 255 calls for July 16th?
It's kind of rich because if it stalls at 260, you know, what are those calls pricing in at and the liquidity? I wouldn't trade options on this because when you got only 11,000 calls or 12,000 calls, 11,000 puts, you might have a liquidity problem. You might have a filling problem. You might have a spread problem. You know, you might try and buy some calls or puts on this, but then you may have a hard time getting filled.
So if you had like a letter grade for stocks to trade options on, Fortinet would get like a C or something?
C- in terms of options.
C-? Okay, that's good to know. We should do that, by the way, Chris. We should go through stocks and give them like A grades for options.
Oh, big brain Aaron here showing his big brain. That's a great idea. I think it's a great idea.
And then was this one that you have looked at before? Or did you just do this quick analysis like after I brought it up?
I started doing a quick analysis after you guys brought it up.
That's really quick. That's really quick that you're able to get all those levels and stuff. So that's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you've been doing this 20 years. It doesn't take long to do analysis, you know, at this point. So it's all all quick at this point. But since you brought it up, I felt like, hey, let's take a look at it. Can we see something stable in terms of the technicals on a smaller time frame besides the weekly? Yeah, this thing has a consistency over the last several weeks. At least I can see once we get above here, I can see a relative stability that buying, around which VWAP do I have? This should be the weekly VWAP. Yeah, it's the weekly VWAP. Buying around the weekly VWAP has been a relatively stable choice. It's relatively held it with few, penetrations or closes below. And so as long as that weekly VWAP is holding, that's generally a good time. Do you want to be buying it when the weekly VWAP is climbing? No. You want to be buying it when it starts flattening or basing, because that's usually a pause in the trend for the next one up. So you can trade pullbacks, but they have to be very shallow in these types of, aggressive, highly imbalanced trends. You're better off either just taking a shallow pullback, not deep pullbacks, because those pullbacks don't work, or you take breakouts. And you can see there's definitely been some impulsive corrective structures inside this. You have an impulsive move, corrective, impulsive move here. This is a nice corrective structure. So you can trade that breakout if you want to. Here's another nice corrective structure. You can trade this breakout if you want to. Here's another corrective structure in the 4-hour. You could trade that breakout if you want to. So trading breakouts will give you more trades than looking for pullbacks. And because it's such a strong trade, look for very shallow or flat pullbacks at best. That's kind of looking at FTNT. So let's move on to a few others that I think are some really good option plays, and then we'll get to open Q&A. Roblox. We are long Roblox at 84. We sold 1 or 2 weeks ago. We sold the 84 cash secured puts. So it was selling off like this. We sold the 84, hit 80 twice, bounced, and now cleared above 84. We wanted to be long at 84. We felt like 84 was a good place to get long. So we sold that and collected the premium. Now our 84, now they got exercised. So now we're long 84, and now it's at 91. So those 84 longs are looking really good. We made 2 incomes on the same trade. We wanted to buy at 84. Instead of putting a limit order at 84, we sold the cash secure puts at 84, collected the premium for that. Then when they got exercised, we got long at 84, and now that 84 is paying off with a second income, the long stock. Because of this high IV move, I feel like Roblox is also potentially setting itself for another cash secured put play. And so short term, it may roll over a little bit, I think, if it clears 91.47. But when I look at, okay, if I wasn't already long, like you viewers, if I wasn't already long, where would I want to get long? And when I look at options on Roblox, roughly we got about 176,000 calls, got about 140,000 puts. The market's going to be more long calls than puts, obviously. I'm willing to bet some of those puts are cash secure puts, and maybe probably a third at best are people buying protection on their long positions. So with that being said, the next major OPEX in terms of options rolling off is July 16th. The July 2nd, there's been a lot of options today. July 9th, there was a lot of options today because of the big move. But so far before today, the biggest option expiry is the 16th.
Were these big green candles, was that part of news, or was that just all technical?
I didn't see any news. I looked for it. I just really didn't see it. If I had to guess, when I look at when I look at it, I think it was much more option activity. Because when I look at Thinkorswim, in terms of today's option statistics, there was a lot. Keep in mind, before today, so let's add it up. Before today, there was 176,000 calls, 130,000 puts. You're talking about 300,000 options roughly. How many options were made today? 237,000 calls and 77,000 puts. So literally the total option space doubled in one day because of the big move. Was it, someone put out a lot of options and that pulled the price higher? Probably. I'm leaning towards that. When I look at, though, the top, strikes in, oh, shoot, that's space. Damn it. I just lied to you. I totally lied to you. I had the wrong one. Totally lied to you. Okay. Reverting back. We did 91,000 calls on Roblox and 31,000 puts. So we've done about half of the total options in one day. So with that being said, you're seeing 3-to-1 calls to puts. When I look at the top strikes for July 2nd, the biggest one is 95 and 100. There's a lot of options that rolled out for 95 and 100. After that, it tails off. And then when I look at the July 9th, a little bit further out, again, the 100 is the big strike. And then 95 is the second biggest strike above the current price. After 100, it tails off again. And then we go to the 16th, and you're kind of seeing a similar picture. You're seeing a lot of calls for 100. You're seeing a few for 105, but then after 110, it starts to trail off. So from a short-term perspective, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I don't think this is going to get above 100 this week. I don't see that happening because you don't have a lot of calls beyond 100. And so I think some option players came in, forced it higher by buying out of the money calls. The brokers, if you buy out of the money calls, the brokers are net short calls. So then what does the broker do to neutralize that risk? They get long roadblocks. So they don't want to have
shares.
What's that?
Do they get long roadblocks just by buying shares, or?
Because otherwise you would have an imbalanced position delta wise. Like if the price opens up the market at 88, let's see where it opened up at. It opened up right around 87. If a bunch of traders start buying 90, 95, 100 calls, which is what we saw at 95, 100 calls, well then that's a delta position that's not 50. That's like a delta 30, delta 20, delta whatever. So the market makers are now short those 95 or 100 calls. They don't want to have a neutral. They don't want to have a directional position. So they have to instantly hedge that position. How do you do that? You get long shares.
Got it. That makes sense. So we have Brandy in the chat asking a good question. What is a good source to look at calls puts ratio or general info? Do you have a go-to?
Yeah, it's a great question, Brandy. Thinkorswim has a really good platform for that. Under the trade tab, you go to today's option statistics and you can see the calls and puts, the ratio, and what's going on. And then it's important to look at your short-term and your monthly OPEX cycles. So Roblox has they have weekly options expiring every Friday. So you want to look at July 2nd, you want to look at July 9th, and you want to look at July 16th, which is the monthly OPEX. That will give you an idea of where option traders are positioning themselves. It will also give you an idea of how the market makers and dealers are having to hedge based upon that. So Thinkorswim has a really good platform for that in terms of their trade. And then you hit trade on the top, and then you go to today's option statistics. You can also look at option time in sales and product depth. They do a really, really good job of giving that information.
Got it.
So yeah, please go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I want to get to the other stocks that if you have any on your watch list, but I was going to ask real quick. I know this might take like a more extended lesson, but when you're saying cash secure puts, is that what you're?
Yes.
Cash secure puts. So does that mean you're getting the cash back from selling the contracts? Is that the secure part of the cash?
It's a great question. Let me clarify what a cash secure put is. So a cash secure put is when you sell puts on a particular stock to collect a premium and potentially get long the stock. So for example, let's say you wanted to get long Roblox. You felt like, hey, I want to be long Roblox, 1,000 shares you're like, this 86 right here looks like a good level. You're like, 86, I like that level. I want to get long here. What are your options? Well, you can place an order for 1,000 shares, a limit order at 86. And if it gets to 86, you're going to get long. The market will fill you and you'll get long. Or what's another way to play it? You can sell puts at 86. So if you wanted 1,000 shares, that would be 10 options contracts. If you want 100 shares at 86, you would sell one option contract. You sell the put on that. What does that do? It gives you the premium for selling that put. If the market closes below that before the option expiry, then the person who you sold those puts to, they're probably going to exercise that. You will be long at 86. If the market closes above 86 by the end of that option expiry, you don't get long at 86, but at least you made some income on that. You collect the premium.
So is the secure part of that is just you're securing that cash when you make the trade?
Correct. You're securing it with your available cash in your account, meaning you have enough margin that if this option gets exercised you can cover it. If you don't, then it's not a cash secure put. Technically it's a cash secure put, but you can't cover it. So you wouldn't do that. You would only do that if you can cover it. We have enough cash in your account to cover it if you get exercised.
And you would do this. Sorry, go ahead.
No, please go ahead.
I was just going to say you would do this on stocks that you would be like long on at a certain price. So you would say, I wouldn't mind getting Roblox at 86 or whatever. So you're willing to take that cash up front of the risk that you would have to buy those shares if it hits that price.
Correct. Cash secure puts are a great way to make two incomes. If you are already feeling like, hey, I want to be long this stock at this price, your only two options are, hey, I either buy the shares at this price when it gets there, or I sell the cash secure puts in the hopes that they get exercised. If you sell the cash secure puts, you get paid for putting your limit order there. And if the market closes below that, you're going to get exercised at that price, wherever the price is. And so you collected the income on that. But if you're right on the price and it does go up, you make two incomes. You make money on the stock going up, and you make money on selling the premium. That's the benefit of cash secure puts. They do have risk to them. Roblox could go in the pisser, and it could go down to like 75.
And
you're
then the
going to
risk
be
there
long.
would be, yeah, got it.
You're long at 86, so you have to be able to deal with that. Now, you can always hedge that at a certain point. You can buy a put, like if it starts tanking, like it's just going in the pisser and it's like, okay, below here, I really don't want to be long. You can start buying puts at that point to neutralize the position. Or if you can short the stock with your broker, you can short it. That creates a little more complexity. I'd recommend just buying the puts if you can. But you do have to realize with cash secure puts, there is, in and of themselves, there can be risk on that for sure.
Got it. All right. Well, thank you for that quick lesson on cash secured puts. Any other tickers you're looking at outside of Roblox?
NEO is a hot one today. Very strong rip on this one here. When I look at NEO, it's great for options in the stocks. You got roughly 1.6 million calls, 1.7 million puts. I'm suspecting the puts are not people buying protection. I think the majority of those puts are people selling those cash secure puts on this. So because of the big move today, IV is pretty strong on NEO. I feel like when I look at open interest in terms of calls and puts, I feel like this 45 to 46 is a good location. So does NEO have short-term dated options? They should. Meaning, do they have any that expire? They do, July 2nd. Okay. So if you're someone who's bullish on NEO and you feel like, hey, I want to be long right around 45, maybe 46. Does it have fractional? It has fractional below 43. So it's 42 and a half, 42, 41 and a half kind of thing. So maybe you want to be long NEO. Okay. At 45, you feel like at 45, this is a good price. You can put a limit order there, or you could sell cash secure puts at 45, expiring July 2nd. Right now, those are selling for 27 cents. So not a whole lot. If you extend it out, 57 cents. So you make a little bit of credit. And then if it gets there and it gets exercised, you're long at 45. So it's a way to make a little extra cash on that one there. Personally, I feel like right around 50, I feel like NEO's going to struggle a little bit. I look at most of the options, and the largest strike above current price is 50. You have about 48,000 calls at 50. After that, it drops dramatically. You only have 16,000 calls at 51, 10,000 at 52. So when you see a large strike and then it drops dramatically, that usually becomes an area where the market has a hard time getting past because you don't have the option fuel to get past that strike. If like you see options volume just trail off massively after a big strike, that usually ends up becoming resistance. So I feel like as we start getting to 50, 51, 52, this starts to struggle. So I feel like wait for a little bit of a pullback. Earliest I would touch NEO would be 48. I really like kind of mid 46s or 45, potentially getting long calls there or cash secure puts. Do I have time for one more?
Yep.
Good man. Space. You guys talked about it. We're long space, full disclosure. We are long at 30. We are long at 35. Okay.
So you've had a nice little run up since then.
Yeah. So we're long at 35. Do you notice how space ripping, it ripped It ripped this day and then it ripped again. But you see look where it got stuck.
Right around 60.
You think that's a coincidence?
No, it seems like kind of a psychological level, I'd say.
Not just a psychological level. If you look at the options on space, this is also something that's very revealing. What is the top open interest volume strike above current price? 60. That's for July 2nd. So 56,000 calls at 60. What's the number of calls at 65? 2,900. So that's that big tail off in volume. That means there's a lot of calls at 60, but very few option traders at 65. So you don't have a whole lot of call fuel to get beyond 60. If you look at the July 9th strike, again, what's the top open interest call volume-wise above current price? 60 again. 7,500 calls for the July 9th expiry at 60. We go to July 16th. What is the top open interest call above the current price? Again, 60. So what do we see? We see 60. There's consistently a lot of volume strikes at 60. That tells us that if you think about it from a dealer perspective, let's say a bunch of people are buying 60 calls. Okay? People are buying 60 calls. What's the dealers? Short 60 calls. Okay, so they're going to have to buy shares to hedge some of those calls. But if you start to see like there's tons of volume at 60, like gangster volume bars at 60, and then there's like a little volume here, a little volume here, and a little volume here, does the dealer have to worry about too much hedging beyond 60? No. So if the dealer's buying shares, do you think they're going to have a whole lot of share exposure, directional exposure above 60? No. So to me, when you look at options and you look at the pricing and the volume of the shares for the July 2nd, the July 9th, and July 16th, you don't see a lot of call volume above 60. Therefore, dealers don't have a lot of reason to have long exposure above 60. Therefore, to me, it's not surprising that space stopped at 60. Also, it's not only a round number, psychological round number, but you look at it technically, and you can see that 60 right here was the prior highs. So to me, traders should not have been expecting space to get beyond 60. You know, those traders buying calls at 60 for July 2nd, I'm sorry. Like you shouldn't have expected the stock to get beyond 60. It's an all-time high. It's our first time back. If you're long like myself at like 35, where are you looking to take profit? 60. Are you thinking, whoever's been long at 35, 40, 45, where's their first profit target? 60. So traders that are long are going to be taking profit at 60. That's also reducing the fuel for the market to go beyond 60. So prior technical high, round number, a lot of option strikes at 60, not much beyond that. Traders should not be expecting much beyond 60. So I feel like this pullback is expected, and I'm not looking to add in my position because of the high IV. Could we sell cash secured puts on space? Yeah, I think it's a decent play. Where would I consider? My first place for selling a cash secured put would be 50. It's a good strike. And in terms of pricing right now, yeah, you can get 186 bid, 192 ask. That's not bad. So that's my option recommendation on that. And if you don't want to do 50, then I would wait till about 45, 44.
Got it. All right, Chris. Well, we do have to wrap up, unfortunately. A lot of great info today on the cash secure puts, as well as we looked at NEO, we looked at Space, we looked at Roblox, and of course, we got your input on Fortinet, ticker FTNT. So I've got your website up, Second Skies Forex. We also got Chris's YouTube channel, which is Second Skies Trading. And follow Chris on Twitter as well. Chris, what's your handle?
It's Second Skies Forex as well.
Second Skies Forex on Twitter. Yeah, and if you have any questions about technicals, just tweet them out at Chris. He's a busy guy, but maybe he'll get lucky and he'll respond to you on Twitter. Anything else you want to leave us with today? Like I said, we got to head off real quick, but then we'll be back next Monday, as always.
Nope. I will see you all next Monday. I'm also teaching a class next Monday, an hour and a half before the show, so it doesn't interfere with the show, on how to improve your take profits and take profit levels. So come join it for a live class on YouTube, and then I'll see you just after that for Monday's Get Technical.
Beautiful. All right, Chris, well, enjoy the rest of your day and happy trading.
Good seeing you. Be well.
Of course. All right, and coming up next, we have Moon or Bust. They have a special guest coming up today. That's Zach Boychuk, former NHL player. He's got his own coin. Really excited for that. They're getting started, so I want to get ahead and get over there. Stick around for Moon or Bust. All you need to know on cryptos, altcoins, and more. And happy trading. We'll be back on Get Technical tomorrow, 1 p.m.